Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. And the 10-minute moan is a little bit special because I've got a guest on for a change, and I've got someone from a beautiful part of Scotland in Perthshire, and this is Donna, who lives just outside
Hi.
Perth. And she had she's had a wee bit of fame over the last week, Donna, since she was up at a protest in Perth on Saturday.
Yes,
So
Mhm.
could you explain briefly why you went to that protest, and then we'll talk about what happened after that. So what was the main reason for you going to this this protest in the first place, Donna?
I went to the protest because I feel very passionately about, obviously, Great Britain, but Perth's always been a great community. We've always been a sanctuary for anybody that needs it. But it's now a place for illegal immigrants. And I have to state this clearly. I am all for legal immigrants. I'm not a racist and I'm not a bigot. That's not what I went there for. Before I went, Lee Stronach, who was our leader, he adamantly says, now this is a peaceful protest. So we were all very aware of that. My whole family went because we all believe that our politicians are not listening to us. Keir Starmer's not listening to us. So I wanted to get my point across. Just as an ordinary working class woman.
Yeah, just like probably 99% other people there, Donna. And your concerns about the migrants in asylum hotels, is that through safety of people that are close to it and the costs involved? Is that kind of what you're not happy with?
Well, I don't think we're all safe. I have a granddaughter, 17. I was approached by one of these illegal immigrants at a bus stop. Asked for my phone number. Now, my granddaughter's very quiet. She couldn't cope with that. So for that aspect, the safety is a massive one. That's a priority. Also, it's costing the government 9 million a day to keep these illegal immigrants. And I keep saying illegal because I'm not a racist, because we're getting a lot of backlash here. And on Saturday, Peter Wishart turned up, and he stood with the anti-protesters. And you want to have heard what they called us. You want to hear it. Now, we were very, very civil, very, very civil. And you start getting angry now. I didn't go as an angry protester. I went as a peaceful protester. We've been called coked up jobbers. Now, the average age there, I would have said, was 30 to 60. I've never took any drugs in my life, never smoked, worked all my life. I was trying to get my point across. I've asked to see Pete Wishart. Allegedly, he's on holiday. So the outcome of that was the Daily Record had a big splash by an MP, East Kilbride, a Joni Reid. Now, her father was a Jimmy Reid, a proper unionist. The man will be turning in his grave if he knew what she was calling us. She called us yobs. She called us ugly-faced racist. Now, do I look like a yob or an ugly-faced racist? Why are they not coming and having meetings and sitting and listening to us? Keir Starmer has to listen to us. He's got to listen to us, because there's going to be a revolution. There's going to be an uprising, because this is in the papers. It's highlighted every day, every single day. Now, after that event, Craig, obviously my face was, we are the alleged thugs. This is why I was very angry. So I phoned the Daily Record when I heard what this Joni Reid called us. I was really angry. Now, if she hadn't put that in the paper, I wouldn't be angry. So I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. But I'm kind of glad she did, because I'd like to confront all the politicians. I'm not a politician, Craig. I'm a working class woman that's paid her taxes, and I'm not going to sit back and let these illegal immigrants get 3 meals a day, a gym, a free gym pass, a swimming pool, and 9 million a day. Sorry. And then you've got the wee man, Johnny McCutcheon, who I met yesterday. My heart went out to him. I'm going to start a GoFund up, Craig. I think we need to, because that man was in the army for 35 years. He is a hero, an absolute hero.
Yeah, so what triggered you is when you got, I think it was Sunday the paper came out, was that right? Or was it Monday this story came out?
It was, one of my friends sent it to me, and I could not believe it. And I thought,
What day was it?
I think it was Monday, or Monday. It was Monday. Yeah, it was Monday.
So this paper, right, so the Daily Record printed this story. They had done an interview or a piece with an MP that you've already described.
Joni Reid.
Aye, and your photograph was in it. The words used to describe, obviously you, because it was like a broad shot at everybody that was at the protest. So you that upset you, and quite rightly so. And then you contacted the Daily Record.
I did. I contacted them at first thing in the morning. I tried their phone about 100 times because I was absolutely adamant that I was going to get my point across. There's nobody going to call me that, Craig. It's not happening. Sorry, I'm a pillar of this community. You know, my family, we all work. It's not happening. And I'm starting to get a bit passionate because there's nobody listening to us. So there will be an uprising. Anyway, I contacted...
So back to this. Aye, back to the story about the record, because that's really interesting what happened there, buddy.
Sorry, I'm so passionate about this. So I got this John Dingwall. He contacted me. I phoned him back and I explained my concerns, and I explained a lot of concerns about lack of funding, whatever. And he said, would you do a photograph? I said, no problem. Went up to the Radisson Hotel, got abuse of the illegal immigrants. Also, a girl from the train station shouted racist to me, and I'm still waiting to hear back from them now. I don't know if they're going to do a negative story on me or a positive one, but I reckon they're just all wanting to get us all angry and make us look worse. Do you know?
So you've done an interview with them over the phone, then, yeah? This journalist.
Yeah. Yes.
They asked you to go to the back to the hotel so they could send a photographer up to get photographs of you with a view of putting that into a story. And you went to the hotel. You were there before the photographer, and you started getting a bit of abuse of, was it security in the hotel that was starting to abuse you first, and then somebody came across the road from the
shouted
station
racist. Now, my point about that is, I was minding my own business. Now, the reason I'm sitting telling you is, if you're minding your own business, you've got a right to freedom of speech. But if I had reacted to the girl that shouted racist, where would that have left me? Would it have been a conflict? Would it have been the police involved? So they're the ones that are causing it. Instead of shouting racism, why don't they talk to us and say, look, this is why I'm protesting against this. Have a proper communication, because they're the ones that are building the anger, along with that Joni Reid. You know, she's got me very angry. I've asked for a public apology to all the citizens of Perth because it's no right. It's just no right.
Yeah, and I think this is what I've been all over the country, from Peterhead in the north to Ballymena in the west, all the way down to London and Dover, and about 100 places in between, just over the last 8 weeks. And what I find is the people, regardless of our accents, because all over the UK, we've got the same concerns. And that the biggest concern is that we've got loads of guys who tend to be single fighting age males in hotels that are in our communities, and things happen in those communities. Now, you've already explained a story about your own granddaughter, right? And the amount of people that tell me stories about things connected to these asylum hotels. So it's spread the whole length of the United Kingdom.
Absolutely.
So when people are not happy with that, what happens is they're brandished right-wing thugs, Nazis, racist, all that nonsense, right? Kind of just made up words a lot of the time.
Yes.
And that's you're suggesting that it will go further than this. And I'll tell you why it happens. Because people, if you have faith and hope that somebody's listening to you, then you'll stay at level 3 or 4 in your anger. But when you get to the point where the establishment are telling you, no, we're not listening to you, we're just going to give you a name, then the temperature goes up and up and up until you get to a point where you think nobody's listening. So what do you do? Do you shout louder? Do you get and protest more? And then when that doesn't get any results, then it starts getting into potentially other things, which nobody wants to happen, but that's kind of how it happens. Yeah. And this is a great example of that we've got national newspapers giving folk platforms to call people like you coked up racists. So you end up not being as, popular. Well, I'm happy with that. They're obviously no listening to me. So you're going to go out and protest more and push more and, come onto things like this to get your story out. And that's how we end up in a position. We need to actually change a narrative. But the only people who can change a narrative is our establishment or our press. And the press just seem hell-bent intent on putting everybody in a box. And our government have spent 12 months now since these things started after those horrible murders at Southport.
Absolutely appalling.
They've been telling us that we are terrible and you're bad and you're wrong and so they're joining in the thing. So when the whole establishment and the media are telling people the same thing and people are getting frustrated, then it's kind of no wonder people like yourself are getting a bit frantic.
I'll tell you what an idea is, and nobody's thought of this. They're all roaming the streets of Perth, and I can only speak for Perth. There's 191 of them. Why don't they put a tag on them? Put a tag on them so we know where they are, that, you know, they're maybe allowed out from 9 in the morning to 6 at night. That would make our children, our grandchildren safer. Why did they not do that?
I'll tell you quite simple.
Why have they not thought of that?
No, they will have thought of that. And I'll tell you why it will not happen. Because this whole thing of immigration, we've now created an industry and loads of people make money. You've already told us the costs of the hotels alone, right?
Yeah.
But you've got things there. You've got lawyers who have now created. There's lawyer firms who actually only deal with asylum cases, right? So there's businesses set up, right? So we've now got this whole industry that's reliant on more people coming. Because if we stop them coming, these businesses stop and that industry stops, right? So the first thing that would happen if that was to get pushed forward is they would say, well, that's against our human rights, because we're in this thing called the ECHR, the European Convention of Human Rights, or the European Commission for Human Rights, which has got some good things there, right, to protect folks' rights, but a lot of it is now getting abused for the not for the benefit of normal people, but for people who want to take and abuse our system, because that's what they're doing. If France had a better system for asylum seekers, they wouldn't come across the channel, right?
Of course.
So we've got the most welcoming one out of all Europe. So that's why when I go to Cali, I found thousands and thousands of them all queuing up to get on boats, because we're good. We've got the best terms for them. So
Craig, listen, Keir Starmer doesn't have a backbone. He should have sacked that Joni Reid, who had inflammatory insults to us. Feel very strongly about that. Or she should have resigned. And
but why is he going to do that? But why is he going to do that when he agrees with her?
Well, he's not, because he's not got a backbone. How could she call me that when she doesn't know me? I'm not throwing insults at her. I wish she would come to Perth and I would tell her a thing or two. Let me tell you, because I fight for justice, Craig. I've done it all my life, and they can call me all they want. I don't care. I'm too old. I'm fighting for my grandchildren and my children and for my kids' future. I will not be silenced. And we need to get Keir Starmer out. That's just my opinion. And I want an apology off that Joni Reid. I've got to get one.
Do you think it'll happen?
Well, I don't know. I really didn't know, because I'm only one person. There should be more people coming forward. There should be more people. We are the people. They need to listen to us. Like you said, I've lost faith and I've lost hope. So we've had to take to the streets and prove ourselves. We've had to do it ourselves, Craig, because the government aren't listening. So I'm going to wait and see if I get an apology. I'm actually going away to phone that John Dingwall to see what's happening, because I get the feeling that I've been put in the back burner, and they'll not make a fool of me, because I'll take it all the road. Trust me. My only problem is I still work, Craig, so I didn't have a lot of time. But since Saturday, I've had hundreds of people sending me fantastic messages. I've been stopped in the street. And yesterday when I was at Tesco, this idea came in my head with that poor wee Johnny McCutcheon. So I'm starting up a GoFund for her. I did it last night. And I've only put £500, which isn't much. If I can help one person, because that man's a hero. He fought to give us our freedom. And folk are forgetting about that. The likes of Keir Starmer. See, I'm getting a bit angry now, but it's mere frustration.
That's what it is. But the in passion, right? Because you're passionate about what you believe in. That's kind of what's happening here, and that's normal, right? But when I put the video out that you gave me last night, I said on it that, you know, the Black Watch, that's a regiment John was in, they must have like an association to look after ex-vets and stuff. And I sent it to a few people I know that are ex-forces and said, look, if you get anybody you know who was ex-Black Watch, you need to get them to watch this video, because that's one of their own. And somebody sent me a message late on last night saying that he was an ex-para and he knows a lot of ex-Black Watch, he knows people that work in there. They've got an organisation to look after their own, so they're going to reach out and try and help him as well. So I think that one video that you sent is going to have a great impact on even Johnny's life. Is a great thing. That is more than 99.9% of our population do, Donna, so you should be proud of them, because that man will get help from a load of people.
Craig, sorry, Oh Christ, I forgot what I was going to say there because my mind's racing. No,
100%.
Craig, I got awfully frustrated.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been brought up honest, decent. All my family are hard working. How dare they do that to that man? So what I've done is I'm going to try and go doing the same today because he was a friend of my father-in-law's, and I felt yesterday I didn't have a lot of time to give him what he probably needed because he's a very lonely man. Now, if everybody just had a wee input and we all helped each other, it would be great. Also, Craig, we have the Black Watch Castle in Balhousie Street in Perth, so I can nip down there and see how I can help him. And also, I'm going to the welfare rights today to see how I can help that man because it's shocking. People walk past them. People, you see, it's a case of I'm all right, Jack, bugger you. That's not right. That's not how I grew up. We grew up working class for Labour. I'll never vote Labour again, Craig. Absolutely no. I'm getting frustrated again. I'm not angry about it. I'm frustrated and I want answers and I want an apology for that Joni Reid. I'd like her to come up to me and apologise. Doubt if I'll get it, but I'll keep pushing for it.
No, good luck to you on that, and well played for you for pushing for it. And I think I need to doff my cap to you because that wee 2-minute video that you done and then sent to me about Johnny, that's going to have a positive impact on Johnny. 100% guarantee you that, right? Because
if it
it's
helps,
impossible not to.
If it
So
helps one
person, what you've done there is more than 99.9% of the country. Right? No, people don't do these things. So that's great. And I need to doff my cap to you because you're going to get an impact on that.
Thank
and I hope that you get some answers for Daily Record. I fear that just the way that that's been described, how the whole situation came about and the photographer and stuff like that, my fear is that they're going to if they do an article, it'll not be pleasant. Do you know what I mean? Because for them to write a pleasant article, they would need to say, we were wrong, what we printed about that protest a few days ago. And people don't like admitting they're wrong unless they're legally obliged to. So I hope I'm wrong. I hope they do an article in the manner that it should be done, whereas it's just a response to a story. There's another side of the story and show balance, which is what newspapers are meant to do. But
there's always two sides to a story, but our politicians in Perth, they're no, excuse me, they're not willing to listen to us, Craig, and that is the point. If you sat down and communicated and spoke about it, yes, it might get heated and all the rest of it, that's through passion, but listen to us. Let's go away and get a solution and go forward, because putting them up in the hotels, that's no solution. They're made to be looking after poor wee Johnny McCutcheon, charging him £400. It's a damn disgrace. I'm getting frustrated again.
Another thing is, I think I told you the story when I was in your house the other night talking to you and your man about the young boy I know in Manchester who was born in a camp and he was there for 14 years waiting to get asylum somewhere. So everybody that comes here illegally and cheats the system and tells us lies, right? Because they're not running away for nothing, right? They're just fancy coming to Britain, which is allowed. By the way, folk have got a desire to come to this country to give themselves a better life. That's great. There's a process in place.
Craig, they've got to contribute something to the society. They're not contributing anything.
There's a process in place for people that just want to immigrate here. We've got that. That works all right. You know, it might have its flaws, but it's a bit better than the asylum one, right? So they're cheating the system and they're leaving people who are genuine asylum seekers in camps for 14 years because they're wanting to skip the queue and they're no real asylum seekers. And
that's my issue.
And
before I go, my issue is my grandchildren and my children, because I'm not going to be here forever. Who's going to protect them? We need to do it now, and we will not be silenced.
No, we all want to give. Our job as adults is to prepare the communities to make them better, to hand them to the next generation. And we're probably the first generation in modern times that's about to hand over our communities in a worse situation than the people before us. And the ones I feel really sorry for are the likes of Johnny and his generation who went to war on our behalf to make our communities better and safer and whatever.
So Craig, what was all that? Craig, what was all that for then? You tell me, what was all that for? It was for nothing. It was for nothing. When I heard, do you know, Craig, when I came home and I showed Bobby the video, we were both silent. There was an air of silence in my front room. And it was a funny thing. And I don't know, I've just never had that situation before, it was like he couldn't believe what he was hearing, you know. And I sent it to my kids, and they were saying, "Mum, this is shocking." You know, I brought my kids up to be honest and trustworthy and for freedom and the truth. And when I pass on, because we're none of us live forever, I want my children to have the same morals as me going forward. And I want Great Britain back, because it's no Great Britain anymore. I'm starting to get passionate again. I could sit here all day.
That's allowed. Passion's not a bad thing, Donna.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Listen, Craig, when if you do a job, you've got to do it right. You've got to see it to the end. You've got to complete the task, and that's my thing here. And I will complete this. I am not going to be silenced. I can tell you that.
Good.
The problem with me is I'm trying to have a job doing as well, and I've got grandkids, and you know, so it's a bit difficult just now. But I just want to thank you and John Watt for your support, because this is all came about by me going for the peaceful protest. We were very civil, and I think for me, the headlines that wrote disaster, it was not a disaster. Just look at the outcome. The outcome is Johnny McCutcheon is going to be heard now, so that's no disaster in my eyes, Craig. And I rest my case.
No. Well, look, Donna, thanks very much for two things. One, invite me into your home on Wednesday night, come and meet you and your good man, and make me most welcome. And then two, for giving me the time here today so we can go and share your story to the wider audience, and it certainly deserves to be seen and heard loud. And I'll probably put in the wee Johnny video at the end of this, so people who have not seen it can see it. So I'll put that in just as the video finishes up. And all the very best to you. So
Craig,
thanks very much. Yes.
Sorry for interrupting, but we need more folk like you. We need more people. Listen, Winston Churchill, he didn't use weapons. He used the power of his speech. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, that's a great point.
Now listen, he stopped Germany invading through the same bit of water that all the illegal immigrants are coming on. There was young men of 17 shot in that water, and they've got the cheek. That Keir Starmer can't stop a couple of dinghies. Come on, he's got to go. I'm on a rant again. I'm on a rant.
You're allowed. That's it. That's allowed.
Listen, Craig, I'm away to my work. Unfortunately, I'm 65 this year, and I've still got to work, which I didn't mind. I didn't mind. When I look at Johnny McCutcheon, I think to myself, I'm very fortunate, Craig. I can work. Listen, power to the people. Keir Starmer's out the door, and thank you so much for taking the time, because I'm just a wee person and a wee wifey and a wee hoose, but I'm trying my bit for our community, and I will not stop until something's done. Thank you so much.
You don't need to thank me. You're doing a splendid job, Donna, and you're driven. And I doff my cap to you, madam. Okay.
Thank you. I'm going to salute you.
Right. So
thank you,
folks. No problem.
That's very much. Bye.
Donna, an absolute whirlwind up in Perth. And if you want your friends to see this video, do these three things: hit the like button, hit the share button, and put your comments below. If you've not already done so, subscribe. I'm talking to the audience, not you.
Oh, sorry. See, I'm just a typical wee wifey, but no, Craig, I'm going to have to go now because I've got to go to work, unfortunately. But thanks for everything, and thank you so much. Bye just now. Bye.
Speak soon.
Bye.
So that was Donna. So as I say, if you want others to see this video, click the like button, hit the share button, put the comments below. That'll help YouTube put it into other people's timelines. If you've not already done so, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. However, I'm going to show Johnny's video that Donna recorded just a couple of days ago on the streets of one of your cities. It's disgusting. And before I do that, just tell you the most important thing. Unless you're the type of person that comes here illegally, tells lies to abuse the system and the generosity of the good British people, then not you. If you're the type of person that allows this to happen because you've got a position of power in the establishment, then not you. But everyone else, have a great day. Cheery bye now.
This is Johnny. Johnny, what's your second name?
John McCutcheon.
And how old are you?
92.
And you were in the army?
The Black Watch.
For how long?
Yes, about 35 years. I'm one of the longest serving soldiers in the army.
Yeah, and tell me your situation. Why are you sitting here, Johnny, with this?
I'm sitting here
This,
because
wait a minute, this says ex-Black Watch, 35-year, 91-year-old man, God bless. So you're sitting begging in the street and tell them why?
well, different reason. One reason is the people who come here on the pretense of taking away our economy, taking away the future of Scotland, changing our economy. I'm here for that reason, and also because, well, I'm on my own, and my wife's dead now, and I'm here to I've made a lot of friends, and the
You're a wee
friends
bit
keep me
lonely.
alive. Keep me
Yes,
alive.
I know.
'Cause
Could you tell me about the £400 that the council sent you an invoice for, Johnny?
They sent me, well, what it was, when my wife was alive, she got me one of these things.
Community alarm?
Yeah, and I forgot all about the
Was it a community alarm or was community alarm? Okay, so that's in case you fall.
Yeah, that's in the
So
house.
you pay, yeah, so that's
Yeah.
a good idea. So they charged you what?
Well, they said, they gave me, first of all, for £400. And I went down to them, I said, look, I'm not paying that. And I want to cancel it because I should be getting it for free because it's under my health, because I've got heart trouble. And if I'm on my own in the house, and if I fall, how can I communicate for whatever?
Of course. Now, tell me what you think of the illegal refugees in the Queen's Hotel and the Station Hotel, because I believe there's 191 of them. So, what do you think of that, Johnny? Now, you'll be for giving them a sanctuary, of course, if they're legal. But tell me what you think about the illegal ones.
I'll tell you what it is. I don't mind if the people come in and go put money into the economy,
Yes.
have brains, who go join the society rather than come in and just.
And you'll welcome them.
And well, I welcome them. If they become into society and be a part of society. And I don't think a majority of them, I see young guys here, very young guys, if they were running away from their country, why weren't they fighting like I was during the war for their own country?
Because they've fled the country, and what they do, Johnny, is they come over in the dinghies. They pay money to come over.
Yeah.
They'll no stay in France. They come to Scotland and England because
Yeah.
Scotland's a very weak country. We've got Keir Starmer,
Yeah.
and he's got no backbone, so therefore they're getting all the benefits free. Now, see the likes of yourself, that you've worked all your life.
Yes.
You were in the army, whatever.
Oh,
That's
I've
your
worked all my
money.
life.
That's your taxpayers' money that
Oh,
is
yeah,
actually keeping them.
I paid all the taxes.
Johnny, they get free gym memberships, they get fresh fruit every day, they get 3 meals a day, and they get money, I think it's every day or weekly, and they're getting protected. And the council are doing nothing about it. There's more coming over every day. Johnny, could you just say exactly how you feel? I'm going to wrap this up, but thank you so much for allowing me to speak to you. I've known you all my life. You were a friend of my father-in-law's.
Yeah. No,
Bob Henderson.
Oh,
That's my
God.
father-in-law.
How's you? Bob's dead now.
Yeah, Bob passed away, but listen,
How's your wife now?
his wife's fine, but this is about how you feel. So why are you sitting here, Johnny, and what's your circumstances at home?
I'm sitting here thinking I'm doing my own little thing and to sort of showing the society that this is Scotland.
This is Scotland, this is Great Britain, and the
Scotland.
illegal immigrants are getting more benefits than you. Am I
All the
right?
benefits.
Right. So, do you get any benefits, Johnny, if you didn't
No,
mind me
I
asking?
don't get no
So you
benefits.
get nothing at all?
No, nothing else.
Right. Johnny, I'm going to wrap this up now, but I really appreciate everything you've said.
Here, Bob Henderson.
Okay, I'll give you a wee
Oh.
hug before I go.
No,
Okay,
hey.
thank you. Hang on a minute, I'll just turn this off. Thank you.